I've actually had a man tell me that I needed to let go of my career.
Your
what
career.
you mean by that?
I don't even know if he said I would take care of you in the conversation.
Just be with me.
What I do know he said was, I want you to, let go of your career. And I was like, I'm sorry, come again?
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Listen to Black Women, and welcome to another season. We're so happy to have you. I'm your sister, Jessie Woo, and I have my lovely co-host, the one, the only Lore'l.
Tish, I do want to talk to you about what age did you have? We didn't talk about this, but you are Jacob Lattimore's mother. What age did you have him at?
18. I was pregnant at 17. I had Jacob at 18, like right after I graduated.
And now I feel like y'all relationship is really close. Like he turns to you for a lot of advice, I'm pretty sure. Now, how do you react when he comes with another girl to the house or comes to introduce you?
You know what? I'm always excited to meet new people, if he's into them, and I want to see my son married with a family. I do. I do not want to leave this earth without seeing my son happy and with a family. That is very important to me.
Do you feel like you gave him the best example you could in order to
I wouldn't say I was the best example, but he has some good examples. I think it's good for your kids to see the good and the bad. His grandparents been married 50 plus years. Me and his dad didn't get along. It was a lot of, I was gonna say some words. It was a lot of stuff that Jacob saw at a very young age. I didn't hide. I don't believe in hiding a whole bunch of stuff for your kids. I think they need to, especially today when they got so much access to learn and find out and learn things on their own. I mean, he got a good balance.
Yeah.
He got a very good balance.
So I say that to say, do you ladies have any recognizable red flags or green flags that you can say you brought into your relationship, or maybe things have changed since you've gotten married? What are your green flags? What are your red flags?
If a person knows how to communicate and will allow you to communicate. I had a conversation with my husband yesterday. I can laugh about it. And there was some things that it was a very personal, like heavy subject. And we were about to get out of the car to go work out, and it was bothering me. You know how you just kind of be like, oh, I want to say something. I don't want to say this. It's going to throw off the whole day. And if I say that, you're having that whole dialogue in your head. And he could tell something was off, and he asked me about it. And I said, I don't want to have that conversation right now because I don't feel like I have the proper tools to be able to
You got to pick your battles.
Yeah, and I don't want to offend you. I don't want to say something that's blah, blah, blah. And he was like, give it a shot. And we ended up having one of the greatest conversations. Like my homie, my best. And he was like, see, you had the tools. Like you was doubting yourself, and you communicated that perfectly. I understand you, like I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm definitely going to make whatever adjustment needs to be made. And I feel like in any relationship, not just your romantic relationships, with your parents, Lord, can we learn to communicate?
Yeah.
Girl, that's a whole other.
That's another segment.
Oh, my God, today.
I feel like I just wish there was better communication in all types of relationships, but especially when you're doing life with somebody. I want to be able to talk to you, even if things don't come out right all the time, as long as I'm keeping it respectful.
Yeah.
One of the things that we learned in marriage counseling, because my husband had a very, wait till he see this, if this gonna stay in, but but he had a issue with me saying something, and then he was already on the defense. Like, you don't even know what I'm about to say. Why you all like
tense.
that?
You're tensing up.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna need you to bring it down. And so that is one of the things, once we got through that, smooth sailing. Smooth sailing. Because or whomever, if you've already programmed your mind to think that your significant other is about to attack you or say something that's just about to irritate you, it's a red flag. And that's where it comes back to the friendship at, and that's what another thing that we learn. You don't do that to your friends.
That's right.
Some people do.
They do, but they're not really a friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once we got through that, like smooth sailing, like the best communication we've ever had.
I think for me, a big green flag is consideration.
Yes.
Someone who's considerate, and I feel like in my relationship now, that's the first time I've experienced that.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that because it's hard to find people who will think about how something is going to affect you. And not only just in short term, but in long term. Like he's very much someone who thinks ahead, and I really, really like that. But also, he's taught me to be more considerate too.
That's
I
what
think
marriage
that's a
is
good
all
one.
about.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's marriage. Period. You
Mm-hmm.
that could be it's consideration because it's not always about you.
Yeah.
It's not always about you at all.
I feel like
That's
that's
what
what
marriage is.
I see a lot of problems with is guys nowadays, they look at, for my personal situation, I feel like they look at me like, all right, she has a lot going on. Let me try to bring her to my world a little more. And it's like, I wake up at 4 a.m., have a morning show. You're going to have to adjust to that. That's something that's not going to change. You know, if that changes, now I have to depend on you, and that doesn't make me feel good. I love to work. I love what I do. Mm-hmm. So a red flag for me would be you not being supportive or you not being willing to be flexible in a situation where I would be flexible for you. I look at Aisha Curry. She's been getting backlash for a long time now, just for speaking out on about the fact of how she's made herself flexible so that her husband could thrive in his career. She didn't say,
Right.
she said, I didn't think I would have these kids. I didn't think I would be a mother. But now I'm doing it, and this is what I love, right? But other people just heard, I don't want these kids. And it's like, no, hold on.
Wait, how do we hear that?
Exactly.
Because I don't know
People
how
lack
they heard
comprehension skills. They lack nuance.
do.
They don't have the ability to
They read the
recognize
titles.
nuance.
They read the
No,
titles.
they
Don't even read the caption.
No, it's not even that. They will hear the words that
Yeah.
come out of her mouth and still come to a whole other conclusion somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Because the woman never even said anything like this.
But I look at that like if a man is not supporting me the same way, I feel like if you're talking 50-50, give me the support I'm giving you as well. And if that means you got to act like you don't hear me waking up at 4 a.m. and you roll over and go back to sleep, that's what it is. But I do believe that it should be equal when it comes to if I have a successful, thriving career, you also be supportive. Not just the woman always backing down because, oh, the man, he's the man and he should be the breadwinner. Like, what about what I want to do in life as well?
Yeah.
So have you ever felt like you had to sacrifice your dreams or what you were doing for a relationship?
I've actually had a man tell me that I needed to let go of my career.
Your
what
career.
you mean by that?
Full blown, said it. I think that I would prefer you to just kind of be with me, and
Whoa.
you could, you know, I don't even know if he said I would take care of you in the conversation.
Just be with me.
And I was like one of the people that didn't hear that.
Yeah.
But what I do know he said was I want you to, you know, let go of your career. And I was like, I'm sorry, come again? Because
The audacity.
The audacity. And I felt that wasn't fair.
Can I clap?
And I'm so glad that I didn't do that. And that was my last, I think I left.
Right after that?
Right after that.
Wow.
We were no longer. But when you tell me I got to let go of me, and here's the other thing.
Sound like narcissism.
Here's a lot of that, and here's the other part. It's different when someone like an Aisha Curry has made a decision to say, babe, I'm a sacrifice. I'm going to make the decision
On my own.
To sacrifice and be there for you and, you know, be there for the kids and be present when you have to go and do what you got to do for us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Completely different thing. When someone says, I'm going to need you to leave that behind.
Yeah.
Because I need, you know what I mean? And I don't know. And maybe it's the consideration, maybe it's the way they say it.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's the case, what does my life look like?
Right.
If I'm doing that? Because this is
now-
a big change for me,
Yeah.
especially for me.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since I was 12.
And would you feel comfortable?
Would I feel comfortable? Are you going to get paid for the therapy sessions? Because
Yeah.
it's going to be something.
Yeah.
That's a big adjustment to make.
But also,
So-
you just become altogether tied to that person.
Yeah.
Right.
You have no autonomy. You get to a point where you just lose autonomy.
And what happens when you change your mind on me?
Yeah, because do you trust the person enough to even
Yeah.
do that much?
Yeah, but like I said, because I don't want nobody to get offended, if you, ladies and gentlemen, because there are husbands that have said, you know what, babe,
That's right.
go get it, and
Mm-hmm.
I got this at the house.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or I'm gonna be there for you. So it can go both ways.
Yeah.
But I feel like what does that conversation look like? And how is it being presented?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if that other person who is being asked is in full support to make that sacrifice, then I'm gonna, no judgment. But for me and the way it was said, it was kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
kick that little thing
That's
to the
good.
curb.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
good.
you could have a better life if you weren't doing that.
On the flip side, has anyone in your singledom, have you ever experienced men trying to attach themselves to you because of what you have and who you are?
I'm sure.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know, we know that your son is not just your son. You are a full-blown momager. You're very active in everything he does. I've worked with him, and you come up all the time.
Your name comes
Like,
up
all the time.
almost before his.
Yeah,
sometimes.
literally. And
Who beat us to set at the?
yes, Jacob.
Okay.
Yeah, like
It's gonna be in line and in order.
Yes, like he's got a good. He
That's
got a
right.
good black mama. Something about you will know about Jacob Latimore. He got a good black mama.
Very true.
And then, I mean, of course, you've had a long-spanning career from music to acting to movies to different, business ventures. Have you ever experienced a man trying to attach himself to you because of what you have going on?
Me and my husband been together a long time before we got married, so I haven't experienced that.
Okay.
Yeah, I experienced some other people before him, but not that.
Okay.
I have. Yeah, I have. And it was very unattractive. That's a red flag.
That's a big red flag.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
red flag. And that's
Yeah.
a loud one too.
Yes.
Okay, ruby red.
I know that you experienced divorce, right? And you had separation from Jacob's father.
I mean, we were young adults.
You were young
Yeah.
adults. But experiencing that from being a child and knowing how it affected you when your parents were no longer together, did that take into play any decision you made when it was time for you to leave, or when you got a divorce, or when you had to leave from Jacob's father? Was it a situation where you thought about it like, I'm going to try to force myself to stay just because I know that this probably, me as a child would have wanted my parents to force their, you know what I mean? Like, was it an issue where you thought about your past when it came to separation?
I grew up in a household that was nothing but domestic violence and drugs every single day.
Oh.
Every single day. Every single day. So when me and Jacob's dad had those situations, I knew I wasn't gonna I'm not trying to stay in this.
Yeah.
Like, I knew immediately I wasn't gonna try to stay in it. So I'm not the woman to try to save face for the relationship, for the kid. Like, if this shit ain't right, let's end this. Yeah.
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 Have you
Same.
ever had an
Same.
instant? Have you ever had an instance like back when you guys were dating in your singledom? Nelly and Ashanti right now are big for like spinning the block and stuff like that. Like, what do you guys think about that? Like, have you ever spun the block? What do you think about going back to someone that you were?
I just spent it.
I haven't, but I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Hey, yeah.
Was it successful? Because I see like Jennifer and Ben. It seems like this might be time number 3 for them. She's wearing a Bennifer necklace again. They done already got divorced twice.
real?
Yes.
Okay.
It was on the red carpet.
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
kissing on each other and all kind of stuff. Like spinning the block 3 times though,
What are y'all-
2 divorces, that's a bit much.
There's something there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
something there. Maybe maybe the title is where things kind of like fall off. I don't know. Like, but they have some type of love for each other.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? The title making things
I don't
awkward or
know.
weird?
I don't know. They have, you can tell. I did see, you know what? Because she had the Spidey thing on.
Yeah.
You're right.
She had
And
it.
she did.
And she
so,
was kissy.
baby, he was in her ear about
He was
something.
young.
And
I'm
I was
telling you.
like, I
It
could
was
feel
crazy.
the
It was
chemistry coming through the camera. And I was like, they really do have a love for each other, regardless of what anybody has to say. And here's the other thing. They shouldn't care what nobody else has to
Yes,
say.
that's true.
They should focus on them. If they want to be in that, we're not in there.
But we've seen the pictures of him slamming the door on her looking
I
at
think that was out of context.
I don't mean to,
though. I
like,
think he's
5
awkward.
times.
Yeah, I think he's
No way.
awkward. I think Ben
I
is
think
awkward.
he had.
I mean, I don't know that. I don't
I
know.
thought he had some substance abuse issues. So
Yeah.
I
So,
think that could have
and
been
she brings
it.
him to the parties, and he doesn't like the partying lifestyle, apparently.
Take being to see the lady. Okay. Give me a little therapy.
Who's the lady, LeToya?
The lady.
Everybody gotta
the
go to the couch, okay? Sit on the couch
Yeah.
and talk, lean back, share.
Well, if
Share
he's
being-
healing, maybe she sees something, and maybe he's a different person when he is, when he's healed. So
Have you spun the block, Tish?
no, I haven't.
Okay. Like never. You've never spun the
No.
block in your whole life.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
It's been spent.